Hi, it's Sheridan here from the Training Designers Club, and I just wanted to talk to you briefly about the value of getting a tiny bit of help and what working with me on a one-to-one basis for as little as an hour can do to help move you forward. And I think it's one of those things, isn't it? We almost feel like we're failing if we ask for help. But when you think about it, actually, all the world's best sports people, business leaders, however you want to look at it, they all have help all the time. We don't achieve our greatest success if we try and do absolutely everything on our own. And obviously, I do run a VIP community for that light touch, little and often support, but that's not for everyone. And even if you're in that community, sometimes you need a little bit of focused attention. So I do offer the opportunity to work with me one-to-one from as little as 1 hour to a whole day. And I wanted to just share with you some of the things that people have used this one-to-one time for. I've written them down so that I don't repeat myself unnecessarily. Firstly, people come to me to help sense check their ideas and their approach before they go into full-blown design or even put in a proposal to make sure that they're thinking along the right lines and they haven't missed something obvious. A lot of the time, people will book an hour and 90 minutes with me just to get ideas out of their head and onto paper. Because when you're an expert in your field, there's so much that you could include. You just end up overwhelmed with everything and going around in circles. So having that external perspective can make a huge difference. I do get people coming to me fairly regularly to actually run through their design in some detail. When you work on your own, you do not want the first time that anybody sees the workshop that you've designed to be when it actually goes live. You want that reassurance and you want the confidence that, yep, it's all structured well, it all hangs together, your timings are appropriate, you've thought about all the different ways of engaging learners, you've achieved your objectives, and you haven't got too lost in the weeds. So that is a really valuable way of spending 60 to 90 minutes. I do find people come to me occasionally asking for help to make a workshop more engaging. So content is absolutely spot on, but it's a little bit dull, it's a little bit samey, and we need to find ways of livening it up and making it a little bit more brain friendly. So again, that's something that I can help with. I can also help people adapt an existing workshop. And again, this is something that I've done in the past. So whether you're adapting it for a new audience, so we designed this for first line managers, now we need to take the same themes and make it for middle managers, or even people who don't lead people. Sometimes I help people adapt the format. So we've run this program face to face 6 times, and now I need to run it virtually. Can you help me translate that? Or even duration. So again, you may have run a 1-day program, and then there's been a request to say, could you do a 2-hour sort of mini version for people who perhaps just need a refresher? So again, that's something I can help with, which when you're very close to the course itself, it can be hard to see how to adapt because you're emotionally engaged in it. And so again, that fresh pair of eyes and my different experience can really help you to cut through all the clutter and make those changes. I have been just once engaged to help someone make sense of someone else's design, particularly if you're working as an associate. You've been told, oh, it's fully designed, all the materials are there, and all you get is a massive slide deck and a very brief agenda. So to have someone to actually work through that with and decide, well, how exactly are we going to run this? How long do I spend on each bit? Where the activities fit in? What's the best way to do that? Again, that can just really help, and it can actually save you a huge amount of time when you're working through that with somebody than doing it all on your own. I've worked with people to plan a program. So different to a workshop is this is a 6-month program or a multifaceted blended program. What's the best order? How do we introduce it? What's the right sort of gaps in between? How are we going to reinforce the learning in between? So again, just having that a sounding board in me to go through those thoughts to make sure that we're not missing everything obvious, And just to get an external perspective, because don't forget, I've worked with lots of different people, so I can bring all that experience and let you know what other people have done in a similar situation. And I can even help you to rewrite specific elements of a program. So maybe you go, the program itself is okay, but this bit isn't landing, or actually these case studies are just inappropriate for this audience. This activity needs to be changed out completely. I'm all out of ideas. So I can help with the fine detail on specific parts of your workshop or program as well, within that sort of 60 to 90 minutes. So there's a huge amount that we can do in a very short space of time. And you can even book me for a whole day. So I am going to be offering Design in a Day, where we collaborate all day long and we take your ideas, your very rough outline, and we create a whole workshop fully designed by truly collaborating, by sharing the workload and getting it all completed in that one day, which is going to be incredibly helpful to you if A, you're really, really short on time, or B, you're a bit of a procrastinator and design isn't your thing and you just keep putting it off. Whereas if we have that day booked in the diary and you say, right, this is the day I'm going to do the design and I'm not on my own, I've got Sheridan who's going to be in and out of meetings with me all day, and we're going to keep touching base, and then we're going to go away and work on something, and then we're going to come back and we're going to compare and contrast and review each other's work. By the end of the day, you will have something that is good to go, not perfect, because you will want to polish it, but it could be run at the end of the day. So lots and lots of different ways that just having that focused one-to-one time with me can actually really move your design forward very quickly, very easily, very simply. So just get in touch with me if that's something that would help.